So let's start with a quick question. Two people both work at the same company. One of them works 60 hours one week and 30 hours the next. The other works exactly 40 hours every single week without fail. At the end of the month, both of them get paid. But here's the thing. One of them gets paid more when they work more, and the other gets paid the exact same amount no matter what. Which one would you rather be? Hold that thought, because by the end of this video, that answer might actually surprise you. Today, we are going to talk about something that almost everyone deals with, but very few people actually understand: the difference between a salary and a wage, and not in a boring textbook way, in a real, practical, this actually affects your life kind of way. Let's start from the very beginning. When someone offers you a job, they are essentially saying, here is some money in exchange for your time and skills. Simple enough, but the way that money gets calculated and handed to you can be very different depending on the type of job and the type of employer. There are two main ways this happens. You either earn a salary or you earn a wage. Now, most people think they know the difference, and honestly, most people are only half right. A wage is money that is directly tied to the number of hours you work. So if the hourly rate is $20 and you work 40 hours that week, you take home $800 before tax. Work 50 hours, you take home more. Work 20 hours, you take home less. It moves with you. It follows your hours like a shadow. Wage workers are often called hourly employees. You will find this type of pay very commonly in retail, hospitality, construction, delivery, healthcare support roles, and a whole range of other industries. One of the most important things about wage work, and this is something a lot of people do not fully appreciate until they actually experience it, is overtime. In most countries, including the US, UK, Canada, and Australia, if you work beyond a certain number of hours in a week, your employer is legally required to pay you more per hour for those extra hours. In the US, for example, anything beyond 40 hours a week typically gets paid at 1.5 times your normal rate. That is called time and a half. So if someone earns $20 an hour normally, overtime kicks in at $30 an hour. That adds up fast. Now, here's a question worth sitting with for a moment. If wage workers can earn overtime and salaried workers usually cannot, why would anyone choose a salary? That answer is coming, but first, let us understand what a salary actually is. A salary is a fixed amount of money agreed upon for a full year. Let's say someone earns $60,000 a year. That number gets divided across the pay periods, usually 12 monthly payments or 26 bi-weekly payments, depending on the company. Either way, every single paycheck looks almost identical. Worked 50 hours this week because of a big project? Same paycheck. Had a slow week and left early a few times? Same paycheck. The number stays steady, like a flat road. Salaried employees are sometimes called exempt employees in places like the US, which means they're often exempt from overtime rules. That word exempt sounds fancy, but it basically means no extra pay for extra hours. So, now that both are on the table, let us actually compare them properly. Think about stability for a second. If someone is on a salary, they know exactly how much money is coming in every month. That makes budgeting easier. Rent, groceries, savings, everything can be planned out with confidence. There's a certain peace of mind that comes with knowing the number before the month even starts. Wage workers do not always have that. If hours get cut because the business is slow, the paycheck shrinks. If someone gets sick and misses a few days without paid sick leave, that week feels it immediately. That unpredictability can be genuinely stressful. But here's the flip side, and this is where it gets interesting. A wage worker who is willing to put in extra hours during busy seasons can actually out-earn a salaried colleague. Overtime, weekend rates, holiday pay, these things stack up. Meanwhile, the salaried employee grinding through those same long weeks sees the same number at the end of the month. So, the stability of a salary can sometimes become a ceiling, and the unpredictability of a wage can sometimes become an opportunity. Now, here's something most people never think about: benefits. Salaried positions, especially full-time ones, tend to come with a package: health insurance, pension contributions, paid holidays, sick leave, and sometimes things like gym memberships or remote work flexibility. These benefits have real financial value that never shows up in the basic salary number. If a company pays health insurance worth $500 a month on top of a salary, that is $6,000 of value per year that does not appear on the payslip. A lot of people forget to factor that in when comparing job offers. Wage roles, particularly part-time ones, may not always come with the same level of benefits. This varies a lot by country and employer, but it is something worth looking at closely before accepting any offer. Here is the real question, though. How do you actually figure out which one is better for your specific situation? That depends on a few things, and there is one particular factor that most people overlook entirely. Stick around because that is coming up next. Let us talk about the actual numbers for a moment. Sometimes a salary sounds impressive on paper, but when you break it down by actual hours worked, it tells a different story. Say someone earns $52,000 a year. That works out to $1,000 a week. If they work 40 hours a week, their effective hourly rate is $25. Not bad. But what if that same person regularly works 55 or 60 hours a week because of the demands of the role? Now that effective hourly rate drops to somewhere between $17 and $18, and they're not getting any overtime for those extra hours. Meanwhile, a wage worker earning $22 an hour and picking up regular overtime could easily come out ahead in total take-home pay. This is why looking at just the headline salary or headline hourly rate can be misleading. Total compensation, including benefits, actual hours, overtime, and job security, is what really matters. There's also something called a salary range that is worth knowing about. When companies post job listings, they often advertise a salary range instead of a fixed number, something like $50,000 to $70,000. That gap exists because they expect candidates to negotiate. Most people do not negotiate. Research consistently shows that a large portion of job seekers simply accept the first offer they receive. That's thousands of dollars left on the table year after year, compounding over an entire career. Whether the offer is a salary or a wage, understanding what is being offered and what is possible is one of the most valuable financial skills anyone can develop. Now, back to that question at the very start. Two people, same company. One earns more when they work more, one earns the same no matter what. Which is better? The truth is, neither is universally better. It completely depends on the stage of life, the industry, the specific role, and what someone values most at that point in time. A student working part-time might benefit enormously from the flexibility and overtime potential of a wage. A parent of two young children might value the predictability and benefits of a salary far more. The best financial decisions are never one-size-fits-all. They are personal, contextual, and built on understanding the full picture rather than just the surface number. Here is the one thing to take away from all of this. Before accepting any job offer, whether it's salary or wage, ask three things. What is the total compensation, including benefits? What are the realistic working hours? And is there room to grow or negotiate? Those three questions will tell more about a job offer than the headline number ever could. If this video helped make things a little clearer, hit the subscribe button and stick around because the next video covers something that directly connects to everything discussed here, and most people get it completely wrong.